So we're identifying that God does talk about our history. God does talk about what happened to us. Okay, and he's also going to talk about our redemption. Okay, so if he's talking about our history here, right, so he also must be talking about this too. What's this here? A slave ship, where we was a cargo slave ship, where we was packed on like sardines. Okay, now we're going to read this in the Word of God and see if it fits us. Deuteronomy 28:68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Hey, my brothers, my sisters, y'all listen good. We reading, guess what? How we were shipped here in America on slave ships by the Word of God, right? All praises. What's happening, my brother Brandon? Come check this out, because pastors ain't teaching us that our history is in the Bible. So we're going to show you Deuteronomy 28:68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now, if you have any familiarity with the Bible, right, the children of Israel once were slaves under Pharaoh, building pyramids and things like that. Okay, and the Most High God sent Moses as a deliverer to deliver us out of Egypt, right, where we wandered in the wilderness. Okay, now he said, read it again, read this, right?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
He said, I'm going to send you back into Egypt, or slavery with ships. You understand that? God said, I'm going to send you back into Egypt, or slavery with ships. Let's see what Egypt means real quick. We're going to prove that with the Word of God. All right, read this. Listen good, Brandon.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
My brother Brandon, what did God just call Egypt?
Allah, Senora.
Read it one more time.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
What did God just call Egypt? The house of bondage. Check out your flyer. What's another word for bondage? What's another word for bondage? The biggest word on that flyer you see right now. Yes. So now we understand what Egypt means, right? According to what God says. I didn't make that up. So now go back to that. Read it from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
What did that just say? One more time. Say it again. Read it one more time.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
What does Egypt mean? Slavery, right? So read it one more time.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So what did that just say? God will send us into slavery. How? With ships. This was the method of transportation, right? Which is a world event that happened to us. These ships like this, with us packed on them for months at a time, was used to transport us all over from the continent of Africa, right, to the islands, right, to Americas. That happened to us. And God said it would happen by way of slave ships. So if that history happened to us, we're identifying our history in the Bible first and foremost, right? Okay, so let's read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So exactly how God said it happened, right? This was written over 2,000 years ago.
Right.
That's a prophecy, okay? And we would not see our homeland anymore, right? Because we say, oh, Africa is the motherland, Africa the motherland, right? But it's so many countries in Africa. There's so many countries in Africa. We can't even identify which country we come from. But God says we come from Israel, Jerusalem. Okay, read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Hold on, so wait a minute. God said after you get off those slave ships from the various places you'll be transported, you will be sold for bondmen and bondwomen, slave men and slave women.
Bring it out.
Right? That's our history in the Bible. That's our history. Now, did that history happen to the so-called white man? No. So who is Israel today? Black folks. Yes.
Right.
But you know who they push as Israel today? They give you this. The so-called white man. The so-called white man. In Jerusalem today, you have the Jewish man or Israeli. They say they God's chosen people. But the history we just read, the history we just found out and learned about out of the Word of God only happened to us. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So, who are they? God knows who they are. Give me that in Revelation 2 and 9 real quick. Hold that. Revelation 2 and 9. Yeah, we can drop that. Revelation 2 and 9 real quick. Right? And then we're going to Deuteronomy 32, 33. Thy enemies have been found liars. Hey, find that scripture. Enemies have been found liars in Deuteronomy 32 something. All right? Revelation 2 and 9.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works, and tribulations, and poverty, but thou art rich.
So God says, for us, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Israel, He know our works, our suffering, our labors in this captivity, in slavery, right? He knows our tribulation, but we are rich. Why? Because everything that God promises in this Bible for us to come, the world, this entire world is ours. So we're always rich, only if we apply God's laws, right? And usher in the return of the King. Read on.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
God says, I know the lie of them that say they are Jews, right? The person in Israel, the Israeli today, they say they are Jews, right? Read it one more time.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
God says the people who say they are us, who took our identity, say that they are the Israelites, say that they are the Jews, God says they are the synagogue of Satan.
Excuse me, we need to go.
God says they are the synagogue of Satan. You understand that? We just read that there are liars on this earth lying about who we truly are, covering up our history. You understand? You got that in Deuteronomy? Deuteronomy 33:29. Read this real quick. Deuteronomy 33:29. We finna find out why we should be rejoicing over this real quick. Some people don't like it. Some people gonna hate it. You understand? But read. We gonna
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 29.
Bring it out.
Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee.
So listen real good. You know what I'm saying? Give me a couple more minutes, bro. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you, brother Brandon. Give me one more minute. One more minute. We got to finish the script. All right, read it from the top.
Happy art thou, O Israel.
Happy art thou, O Israel. Who is Israel? That's us, right? The children of Israel. Read.
Who is like unto thee.
Nobody is like us. You play ball? Not professionally. You know how to play though. You think a white boy will bust your ass on the court? If you practice, but who predominantly dominates on the court? Our people.
Bring it out.
Every sports, football, basketball, we dominate. You understand? Read.
All people saved by the Lord.
We will be saved by the Lord out of this captivity. Read.
The shield of thy help. And who is the sword of thy excellence? See, and thine enemies.
Thine enemies, our enemies. The people who enslaved us, God calls them our enemies, brother. You understand? But we say the white man is our friend, the white woman is our friend, the Chinese, they our friend, but they all took part in our slavery, and we water off a duck's back, no problem. No, God ain't happy with that. He wants you to feel some type of way about your history, bro.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
His word.